So here's the thing. You've got a decent smart TV, but it's starting to get a little bit old. Maybe it's having trouble staying connected to the internet, or it's freezing up. It's just not what it used to be. On top of that, you never upgraded your audio experience. You've literally been listening to everything through the crappy built-in speakers on the TV since you bought the thing. Well, I'm happy to tell you that today we're unboxing something that solves both of those problems. In this box is the Roku Streambar Pro. And before we get into features, let's unbox the thing. Alright, so we got the classic Roku purple, which, I'm a fan of. So this thing has a lot of incredible features. For instance, if I just take a look at the back, we got 4K picture and HDR color, long-range Wi-Fi, which is very important for me, because our router is way far away from our TV. It quiets loud commercials, which you can create personal shortcuts on the remote. There's a lost remote finder, and there's Bluetooth streaming, which we'll get into later. You have virtual surround sound with this thing, although you can pair it with the wireless subwoofer and speakers, which hopefully I'll be testing out soon with this, because that is a super cool setup, which for a lot of people that want to experience true surround sound and don't want to run cables, that sounds like a great option. And this is what's hilarious to me today. Like, we see processors in everything. This thing has a quad-core processor in it. And flipping this thing around, let's see what else we got. Okay, so this is Dolby Audio. It works with Apple AirPlay, super cool. Works with Apple HomeKit, and works with Hey Google, which is really cool. All right, let's open this thing up. All right, so in the box, we have accessories 1, accessories 2. All right, let's see what's in our accessories 1 box here. All right, we got cables. You got a 2-pin power cable and a HDMI cable with a little Velcro wrap on it. All right, accessories 2. See what we got. In here, we have AA batteries, very nice, included. And get this, these are Duracell batteries. Like, I can't remember the last time a name brand battery was packed with a product, with electronics. Like, that's just blows my mind. All right, included, of course, I'm gonna use my own earbuds or headphones with this, but they do include some earbuds, which is nice. On top of including earbuds, they've included some additional covers for, different size ear holes. This is an optical cable. And before I unwrap this, let's take a look at the remote. So this is the current version of the Roku remote. You got your headphone jack on the side. So if you're watching TV and you don't want to disturb someone, like Alicia might be writing on the other side of the room, and I want to watch some TV without disturbing her, boom. You also have those 2 customizable buttons. That's what that 1 and 2 button are. You have your voice control button right in the middle there, and you have your shortcuts for things like Hulu, Disney Plus, and Netflix. And Apple TV's on there too, for whatever reason. I don't know. Yeah, nice. Oh, interesting. So are those for a stand or a mount of some kind? Your power cable goes in right there. You got a reset button and HDMI, optical, and a USB port. On top, you got your old Roku logo. You got a couple rubber feet on the sides. This thing is 32 inches long. So, I don't know, if you have a tiny TV, this might be a little bit much, maybe? Nah. Okay, I was hoping we could take a look at the speakers, but especially around the sides, it feels like it's pretty well adhered on, so I'm not going to mess with that. But if we do look at the box, it does say there are 4 speakers, so they're here and here. And frankly, I live in a tiny house, like literally in a tiny house on wheels, And yeah, this is probably gonna be overkill, but yeah, I'm gonna set it up anyway. So let's go set it up. All right, so we're up in our tiny house loft with our TV here. And for those of you who get the soundbar, ideally you're gonna have an HDMI input that is ARC compatible. ARC stands for Audio Return Channel, and it's a two-way protocol that's going to communicate between the TV and your soundbar. If you don't have that, you can still use the soundbar, it's just going to work a little bit differently, and say you just want to use the soundbar as a soundbar instead of using the Roku interface, you can use it with just the included optical cable. So let's get this thing set up. Oh no. It's too big. I guess I can... Oh yeah, it'll just slide right in there. Yeah, that's nice, right? Yeah, okay. For right now, I'm just going to set it in front though, so that'll be fine. Alright, so we have our HDMI cable, and on this TV, HDMI 3 is our ARC channel. Alright, so we're going to plug our power in and our HDMI. I'm probably doing that in the wrong order, or maybe it doesn't matter. I'm not really sure. Of course I didn't check the directions. I mean, come on. How complicated can this be? All right, we noticed you connected a new device to HDMI 3 ARC. Okay, it looks like it's already picking up what that is. And, okay, HDMI 3 ARC. Okay, please use your existing Roku TV remote for setup. Okay, so how this is going to be different than a non-Roku TV. So this is probably what you're going to see if you're using a Roku TV, because it's going to communicate directly with the soundbar. If you're not using a Roku TV, you're actually going to go into the interface of the Roku soundbar and set it up in there using the included remote. So for this part, we're just using the Roku TV remote. All right, we're updating our Streambar Pro. It took about 4 or 5 minutes to update. And we're all done. Oh, and we're loading a demo. It actually sounds really nice. Okay, so now we're back to the home screen, and if you look at the screen, you see HDMI 1, 2, AV, and that's it. We're missing HDMI 3, which is where the Roku soundbar is plugged into. And the reason being is because the Roku TV is just using that as an audio accessory right now. And we're still using the old Roku system on the TV. Now, say your Roku TV is getting a little bit old and doesn't work quite as well as it used to, and you want to use the soundbar, here's what you do. We're going to go to Settings. We're going to go to TV Inputs, and we're going to go to HDMI 3, and we're going to go to Show Input. And now when we go back to the home screen, you got your HDMI 3 there. We're going to click on that, and now you have your new setup. And this actually looks a lot crisper than the old system, than the TV's system. But anyway, now we can utilize the more robust Wi-Fi of the Streambar Pro and its many other features like AirPlay, etc. But in order to use it, you got to set up the new remote, which is also something that I wanted to get into. So we're going to pop in our batteries, and this sync button on the back, we're going to hold it for 5 seconds, and that little light should blink, letting us know that it's ready to pair, and it's not working. Okay, so I've gone through all the troubleshooting steps, and I'm not really sure what to say about that. It's not working. I think we might have a bad remote, so at the end of this video, I'm gonna contact support and see where we come out on that, because that is a little bit disappointing, having a dead remote out of the box. In the meantime, let's check out AirPlay. So if I pull up AirPlay on my phone and hit Roku Streambar Pro, you can see it's switching. And actually, while we're at it, even though this remote is not working, check this out. If you download the Roku app, of course you have to be connected to the same network, but we can go to Devices and connect to our Roku Streambar Pro. And now we can control it with our phone. It's not ideal, but since this thing isn't working, it's kind of all I got right now if I want to use the internal system of the Streambar.
Sometimes in a meeting, it can feel as if no one can see you.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Listen to a little crab rave, see what the bass sounds like.
Slopes of Mount Doom, they fought for the freedom of Middle-earth.
So far, I'm really happy with how this sounds. Massive upgrade from the TV speakers themselves. But let me take you into the settings. So we have swipe and traditional remote type. That's just for the app. You have private listening, which is where you plug your headphones into your phone. Haptic feedback, that is again a phone app feature where your phone just vibrates, gives you a little feedback when you're clicking buttons. You can switch your device type if you have multiple Roku TVs. Lost your remote. I think the remote might actually beep when you activate this. And then you have your sound settings, which we'll get into. All right, so under sound settings, you have your first one there, sound mode. Let's click on that. You have bass off, bass boost, normal, and reduce bass. I like it on normal. I think this just sounds really good. The bass boost, it can get a little muddy, but it's not bad. Of course, this is all personal preference. Now, if we go back to sound settings, the next one is volume mode, and we have off, leveling, and night mode. Leveling is just going to bring everything within certain tolerances of volume. Night mode is going to set a limiter or a maximum threshold for those really loud sounds. So it's nice to have on if somebody's like sleeping in the other room, if you have kids, that sort of thing, and you're trying to watch TV. Works pretty well in my experience. Going back, let's check out speech clarity. So we have off, low, and high. So the low and high, it's just increasing the frequencies where the speech lives so that you can perceive it more clearly. I like to keep this off. I think for the most part, the speaker does a really good job of making speech clear. And if you were to put this on high or maybe even low, it's gonna be a little bit sharp on the ear. But again, this is all personal preference. If you get this and you put it on high and you're like, oh, well, that actually sounds really good, then have at it. Next up, we have virtual surround sound. And this I leave off. So virtual surround sound can sound really good. It's really just stereo sound on steroids. It's just moving sounds around from left to right a little bit more. At least that's what it sounds like to me. I just leave this off because sometimes I feel like it's just kind of muddying the sound. So I like to keep it off. And if you want true surround sound, just get surround sound. There really is no replacement for it. And lastly, you have your basic bass and treble settings and a reset button in case you just want to start from scratch. All right, so I reached out to Roku, and sure enough, it was an issue with this remote. So they sent me a new one. And the funny thing is, it's actually a newer version of the remote that's bundled with the soundbar. Well, that's not entirely true. So the remote that was bundled with the soundbar is actually the old version of the standard Roku voice remote. The reason I know this is because if you go down to the specs, you see it uses 2 AAAs. The one I have uses 2 AAs. The one that they sent me as a replacement is the Roku Voice Remote Pro, which is quite an upgrade on that remote. I think it's actually worth the upgrade. It has the lost remote feature. You can recharge it using USB-C, and there are voice controls, which is very cool. I will say, though, it appears they just sent me the Pro as a replacement because I'm reviewing this, since the remote that comes with the soundbar is in fact still the standard voice remote. Alright, so fast forward in time a little bit, we just got a new 55-inch TV. This is a Fire TV. We're using the Fire TV interface right now, and we've paired it with the Roku soundbar. The soundbar is just acting as a soundbar. I might go back to the Roku interface at some point. I'm not sure yet. The Fire TV interface is very, very busy, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. But I will say this is kind of a budget 4K TV. It's an Insignia, which is Best Buy's house brand, and it's a great TV. But the speakers were seriously lacking. The amount of volume we would have had to crank it up to be able to understand speech would have been just ridiculous. The soundbar just sounds 1,000 times better, so I'm really happy with that. So again, if you're looking to upgrade your sound experience, or you just want to add a new interface to your TV, this is a great option. Hopefully you don't get a dead remote like I did. They were great about sending me a new one though, once I went through all the troubleshooting steps. And it's actually a really reasonable price. You can get, there's another soundbar that you can get that's not as expensive, so depending on your budget, there are options there. I'll drop a link in the description below so that you can check it out for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.